The big change that we've had is the Mexican election with AMLO coming in. AMLO reached out to the U.S. administration and said, my number one priority is going to be the migration issue and working with the U.S. to deal with migration. This is one of Trump's absolute highest priorities, and it's a big issue in the U.S. primaries. AMLO's response was, I'm going to do that through economic development and make it economically unnecessary for migrants to be seeking to move to the U.S. What we like about this is that, first of all, it is a reaching out to Trump on a factor that's very important to him, but it's a really quick conversation bridge to move from developing Mexico's economy in order to deal with the migration issue to let's get NAFTA resolved. The second thing that Mexico has done is reorient its agricultural purchases to Latin America. So you're seeing these big headlines of negotiating massive corn contracts for delivery on this year's crop with Argentina. The message is, while the U.S. has been a really important trading partner, you're starting to damage long-term trade relationships. This is going to be permanently harmful to U.S. farmers if you can't come to terms with Mexico, because we're going to start moving into these long-term contracts and sourcing grains elsewhere. From here, what we're hoping to see is an initial NAFTA agreement that focuses on the auto issues, and we could see some of the more contentious issues that are still outstanding, being the sunset clause, procurement, and Canadian dairy, left for future negotiations. But from our perspectives with respect to our Canadian economy and the stocks that we're looking at, auto really is the big piece that has to get resolved. It is going to be very important to eliminate the risk of auto tariffs, especially because if they come in under the Section 232 national security, they're much harder to roll back. And it is not clear that even if we get NAFTA agreement in place that we're going to see a rollback of the steel and aluminum tariffs, for instance. The other thing that makes us very hopeful for a near-term development is that AMLO reached out on timing and said, I am very interested in having NAFTA progress and a tentative agreement in place for August 31st. The plus of that and the appeal to that to the Trump administration is that he can have a win on trade late August, early September, which is still lots of time to campaign on that going into his primaries. We're actually not that concerned that Canada is going to get left behind, because the key American interests, being these very large auto companies, do want to protect their integrated supply networks that they have set up, and it's not going to suit the U.S. companies to have the United States enter into like a partial NAFTA. So we're encouraged of where we are, the most encouraged that we've been in the last 6 months.